Yeah, but Be'ez Hashem is Baruch starting now a new subject, and the subject is in Perek Yud Zayin, Halacha Yud. And as usual, we know if we have a good introduction, a solid introduction, even if it takes long, then everything else goes easy. So we need to have, I think, maybe 2 or 3 videos of introduction to understand what's going on here. It's what this is called, if you want to name it, it's called understanding Orach HaShlishi. Because Orach HaSheni we did already, now comes Orach Shlishi, and you need some insight and some introduction. So let's see. Take a look at this picture here. Don't be scared from it, even though it looks a little bit scary. Nothing special about it. I'll explain it in a moment. So, this diagram you see has black lines and red lines. First focus on the black. Don't try to ignore the red, just look at the black. The black lines represent the horizon and the altitude. So let's say this black line, I'm going through the screen now from left to right, is the local horizon. Some guy standing in Eretz Yisrael, he's standing here by this middle center point. This is his horizon. This is the northern point of his horizon, and the right side is the southern point. Okay. Now go to the, please don't look at the red lines now, just the black ones. The black ones that are here, they are 10, all these, represents 10 degrees above his horizon. So, there can be stars here, there can be a sun, there could be a moon, there could be anything, it can be an airplane. This represents 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. This point here is called the zenith. That means a point that's noich hachodesh. It's above his head. He lies down flat on the ground. He raises his eyes to heaven. This is the point he sees. Now, everything that's beneath this line that he cannot see, because that's below his horizon. Okay, we're not done yet with the black lines. Now, if you realize, there's also these lines, the lines that go from the horizon till the pole, till the zenith. So these are, it's called azimuth. We spoke about it. We mentioned it I think a few tapes ago. It is, you draw an imaginary line from the pole till the horizon, and everything that's on this line, we say it shares the same azimuth. Now the way we're used to it is, you could drive a car, you can see there's north, east, east, north, south, east. So theoretically, you can divide, when a person stands on an empty place, besides making the 4 points, north, south, west, east. And in this diagram, this is the north point, this is south. And west, east are these 2 points of the page, the other side of the page and this point. So you can also divide it into 360 degrees and draw a line from the zenith to that point of the horizon and call that 3. For example, this you can call, I think the north is called 0. I'm not sure how they divided it. There's a certain way how to divide it. And then you can imagine that these 2 lines are forming the coordinate system of a person where he stands. So let's say you want to tell a guy, you want to find a certain star. You can find it on your 20 degrees from, you have to turn from the north, and then the altitude of the star is 5 degrees. So that will mean he has to go 20 degrees, for example here, this is 10, 20, and the altitude is 5, so somewhere here. So it's a way of determining or specifying a certain spot on the heaven. We use these 2 coordinates, the altitude and the azimuth. Okay. It's not so important to azimuth, but it's just to understand that these 2 is like Just like you have a street and an avenue, it's like you need both. You can't just say a street, you have to say avenue. So you use these two systems to locate something that's on your horizon. Okay, now we finish explaining the black lines. Now, and everything here you see is divided into 10 degrees, 10, 10, everything is 10 degrees. These lines are 10 degrees apart, this is also 10 degrees. Okay, now we will turn to the other lines, to the red ones. What are the red? The red ones is another grid. You pick a grid also that has the same exact things. It has lines this way and that way, and you placed it. I did it with the computer. I copied and pasted it on top of the black ones. Now, what is this grid system here? This is the system of the right ascension and declination. And I mentioned it previously, I'll explain it now again. What it means is like this. Let's start with the red line running here. This represents the celestial equator. This straight line here. What it means in practical terms, that somebody, this is meant for somebody in Eretz Yisrael. Or rather, I'll say somebody that's 30 degrees latitude. So for this guy, he will find the celestial pole 30 degrees above his horizon. You see, this is 10, 20, 30. We spoke about that a few times. That's where he will locate. If he goes at night outside and he looks at the north, he faces north, he goes up 30 degrees, he will see the North Star, a star that, like on that, spins the whole celestial system. And where will he find the celestial equator? That's this line here. He will find it, we spoke about that, look how many degrees above his horizon. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's always going to be 90 minus his latitude. So if his latitude is 30, this will be found by 60. We explained that, that's how it is. So this guy has his celestial equator, and it's always going to be inclined 60 degrees towards his horizon. So this is the two main things, the celestial equator and the north celestial pole. However, obviously the whole heaven is full of stars. There's stars that are, they have a declination of 10 degrees. There's stars that have a declination of 20 degrees, and so on. And this whole thing, you have to imagine that there's two pivots, this turn on this, and it keeps on turning every 24 hours, makes a full circle around the Earth. The Earth is the guy that's standing in the inside, and he's standing here, and he sees all these things going around. So let's assume, for argument's sake, let's assume that I'll take a thing to draw something here. Okay, I'll make a point here. Let's try to make a certain star. It's right now here. Okay, we'll try to color something tiny here. Okay, great. So let's see something here. Oh, I erased it. Mistake. Okay, make it again. Make it here, right here. Okay, you see the orange point? That's a star that's right now. Let's see how many degrees he is. This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So, this guy 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'll make another point here to be clear that this is the point where. Okay. So you see now that this one on top, his right ascension is 50 degrees more than the right ascension of this star here. So let's assume that let's make for argument's sake that the right ascension here is 10. It could be anything, because it keeps on turning, but let's make sure, let's imagine this 10 right ascension is here. So this one is 60. That's simple, that's how it works. If this one is 0, this one is 50. This can be anything. Whatever this is, his right ascension will be 50 greater than this one. Another point to consider here, if you're asking how long will it take, let's say we have now this point 10 right ascension on the horizon. How long will it take for the point 60 to set? Also a very simple answer. We know from previous shiurim that each degree takes 4 minutes. 10 degrees is 40 minutes. So we have, this is 50. 50 times 4, it's 400 minutes. 50 degrees. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. 50 times 4 is 200. 200 minutes. That's 3 hours and 20 minutes. Because we know that this, each degree set takes 4 minutes. That's how much it would take if we have now 10 degrees on the horizon. This is 60 degrees. It's 50 degrees apart. 50 degrees to set takes 200 minutes. Okay, another interesting point. Another point to think about is, how about, think of it like this. How about, imagine we have another, draw another point here. It's a little bit bigger. You have another star. It's the same right ascension, also 60. However, he is 10 degrees declination. That's how it's called. Declination means he's this way we call this declination. So the declination of this star is 60. I'm sorry, his right ascension is 60, and his declination is 10. Let's see how long it will take for him to set. Let's see. We have here 10 degrees, 20, 30, 40, 50, and all the way till here. Make it, I'll paint it. Take a look. You see, it's a little bit more than 50. It is, it looks on the picture like 55. So it's extra 20 minutes. So the higher the declination, even though you're dealing with the same right ascension, since you go higher, it's much more, it has to pass through a larger place in order to set. And this is why the sun, when it's in the higher declinations, it takes longer to set, because of this phenomenon. That if you live in a certain latitude, then, let's say in Eretz Yisrael is 30, so the way the whole celestial equator is inclined towards the horizon, it's set up in such a way that if you're dealing with a star that's on the celestial equator, it's very simple to figure out. You just take how many degrees is it right ascension is on the horizon, and this, and then you know the 4 minutes. But here you must take in consideration, if once you go to start with higher declinations, you must take in consideration the fact that